snacks, we've got to have them. Now the problem is, I find myself, if I have a bag of crisps, I'm in bits. They definitely are one of those foods. They're fried in very, very cheap vegetable oils by and large. And even the frying process in the seed oils, it's definitely one of my triggers and I avoid them. But of course you want something crunchy, something dippy and stuff like that. So what's your options? Well, grilling comes into it big time. And one product I like a lot is popidoms. Now you don't deep fry them, they grill beautifully. And if you look at the ingredients of popidoms, the vast amount of ingredients are a dal or a gram flour. Sometimes they have a little bit of rice flour in them, and then various seasonings and so on. And sometimes they contain a little bit of oil. But if you look at the better ones, the oil they'll use is actually coconut oil. So especially the ones that are made in India itself, they tend to use the better quality ones by and large, because these popidoms are kind of a special celebration. You'd only see these generally at kind of celebration meals, as far as I know. Now, I stand to be corrected on that. So, to pair with those popidoms, I'm just going to grill these. I'm going to make a very, very simple beetroot hummus. But, so chickpeas and so on. But what do you pair to make the beetroot a little bit more interesting? What complements beetroot? Well, one of the herbs that goes very well with beetroot is dill. So I'm going to do a kind of northern Indian kind of fusion kind of thing, or Arabic bean hummus. So beetroots, I'm going to use the air fryer again. Brilliant, because I don't have to open up turn on a big oven to get the flavor I want from the beetroots. All you need is your beet, piece of tin foil, pop your beet in there, pinch of salt, and wrap it up. And do that with your beets. And then when they're cooked, you're going to find that they'll peel really nice and easy, and you're going to get that lovely roast flavour off them. So I'm going to pop 4 beetroots in here, 400 gram tin of chickpeas. And so it's about half and half almost with the beetroots, but then I have the pulp. And I'm going to pop those into the air fryer, and they'll probably take about 30 minutes to cook. Just roast off, they take a little bit longer. Just cook them until they're tender. Use nice small, and if you can, get nice organic beetroots as well. So I'm going to pop those on, wait a while, and get back to this when they're cooked. Actually, as a matter of interest, I haven't tried it, but maybe the popidoms will cook well in the air fryer as well. So to finish this little beetroot hummus with some popidoms, what I've done is I've lightly grilled my popidoms. Just the only thing is they burn very quickly, so just be a little bit careful with them. And if they get a bit too dark, just move on and use a different one. So with my beetroots, again, air fryer, fantastic for this type of thing. They've taken about 45 minutes to cook these little guys, and wrapping them in a little bit of tin foil is a great little trick as well. So all I'm going to do with these is very quickly just peel them. They almost peel themselves. You can kind of just sometimes get the paper as well, and use the greaseproof paper to kind of pull the skin off them almost. And just do be a little bit careful, I suppose. So I'll just take the skins off these guys. And then pop them into my food processor. And again, when you're using the nice organic beetroots as well, they're really, really good, because they tend to have a much more vibrant colour to them as well. And these skins just kind of come off very, very easily. I like to do this when they're hot as well. You just get a little bit more better infusion of the flavours as well. Sometimes it's a nice thing just to very simply rub your greaseproof paper around like that. And if you're a little bit lucky, it'll take most of the skin off with it. Kind of give them a kind of a toss up like that. Once one piece of the skin comes off, the whole lot tends to come off quite easily. And again, just watch your fingers. I'm probably a little bit more heat resistant from working in a commercial kitchen. But the so that's them in the food processor. And now into that beet, my chickpeas, pinch of salt, some black pepper, I'm using about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in this, and the reason I like this is the acid will, first of all, the beets have kind of a naturally sweet taste, and that kind of counters that and gives it a better balance. And also because you bring the acid into it, you're going to get a much better, more vibrant colour from the beetroots. And then into that I'm going to add about 60 ml of olive oil. And then finally my dill, everything in there. And then give that a good blending up. So, after giving that a good blending, and again, the food processor, I like to kind of slightly more chunky, kind of a little bit of texture in it. If you use a liquidizer, you're going to get a much smoother finish. Also, if you find it's a little bit thick, some of the water from the chickpeas, retain that water and pour it in, and that'll thin it out a little bit. But then you're going to get this lovely, vibrant dip. Okay, and because I blend it when it's a little bit hot, the flavors tend to infuse a little bit better as well. And then all that's needed is just pop this on a plate. Very, very simple one. Every time that liquidizer gets me. So I'm just going to pop that out on a plate. And then it's only a case of, you could just as easily use little vegetables in this, maybe even garnish it with some pumpkin seeds or the like. But then it's only a case of just getting your popidoms, breaking them up very, very roughly, and just around, ready for dipping. Very, very simple, very, very tasty little snack. It's not a meal in itself, but it's important to have little dishes that you're going to be able to do more than just then I'm just going to finish with a little drop of olive oil. But as I was saying, it's important to have a few dishes that you can just kind of fall back on and just have this little, simple little snacks. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually essential. And then a couple of dill leaves just to throw around. And there we have it. A very, very simple little beetroot, roasted beetroot hummus with popidoms just to dip into. Simple snack, but still not bad on the health thing. And beetroot with all the benefits, and chickpeas as well. It's a good little option.